prior to yesterday, I never owned anything remotely this bright. There's a first time for everything. Hi guys, it's Chris, and today's video is so exciting. Last week's video was a little, you know, just one of those little update videos. And this video is kind of an update as well, but a more happier, exciting one. Something I wanted to share for a long time, but it just came out and I just got my copy of it and I'm finally able to share with you guys what's been on my mind for the past couple months. It's really cool, it's really exciting. So I'm sure you could tell by the title, I was in a magazine, but before I get into like that, I wanted to tell you guys the story of how this all came to be, because I've been approached by a few, I don't know the right word, not companies, like film people and just other projects who want to include me in their thing. They want to film this. And they've been really, really bad experiences. None of them ever happened. They were close to happening, and it was just very, very bad. I was like this close to having to sue someone. It was terrible. When it comes to like making something like making a magazine or a book or a film about like people with eating disorders, you gotta be really careful about what the person's intentions are, whether they're trying to exploit you for their benefit or they're trying to actually bring awareness and help you. So I do have my email in my description for like inquiries, I don't know. So I got an email a few months ago, actually a few months ago. It was like maybe October of last year, from Scholastic, from this woman from Scholastic, shout out to Sandy, who works at the Scholastic Choices magazine. If you don't know, you probably know Scholastic is this huge book publishing company. They're like, I think the most popular, and they have this magazine called Choices, and I actually heard of it before getting this email. I think I got it like once or twice in my grammar school, but it's this magazine that gets sent out to I think like middle school, grade school, maybe even high schools, I don't know, but like millions of students get this magazine. So I got an email from someone who worked at the magazine, and they said for the March 2017 issue, they are doing an article on eating disorders and like myths around eating disorders. The magazine is called like the Current Health and Life Skills magazine for teens, and I thought that was so cool that they were going to include you know, an article on eating disorders, because many times they do, you know, develop at a young age, and many stereotypes around eating disorders get, you know, ingrained in your brain at a young age as well. So I thought that was really cool, and they said how they wanted to include me in a portion of it in regards to boys with eating disorders and getting a male perspective on the whole thing. Right off the bat, because it was Scholastic, I knew it was like actually legit, you know, different than these other things I've gone through. Something that really impressed me was they actually included in the email, oh, you know, for your interview we would be following NIDA's eating disorder press guidelines or something along the lines of that. I had no idea that NIDA, National Eating Disorder Association, had this whole like layout sheet for if you're doing like press on eating disorders, here's some things you don't talk about. And I thought that was really nice that they actually researched enough to know that, you know, I will really answer anything. But I thought that was really, really nice of them to think of that, you know. It shows that they are very professional and very legit. I mean, obviously it's Scholastic, but those other things that I was involved in was very much not like that at all. So we actually scheduled the interview for, I don't remember when, but I scheduled it during a time when I was with my therapist because I get very nervous when I'm on the phone with somebody. Even on the phone in general, I hate talking on the phone. So I scheduled our interview while I was with my therapist to like help me and like calm me down, because I was like shaking. I basically was asked questions about my eating disorder and how it started and this and that, just my story and what I do now to progress in my recovery. It was just really cool being able to like share my story in such a broad way. I don't know how many times I said thank you to the people, like thank you for finding me, for letting me, you know, share my story like this. It's just so cool. And I've actually gotten a few comments on my channel saying, oh hey, I'm, you know, from this school and I found you in this magazine that we get. So I just got the magazine in the mail the other day. I was going to make this video during Nita week, but I just got it like recently. So here's what it looks like, the front. Unfortunately, this magazine is not one that you can you know, pick up in the store. It should be. I mean, it's really nice and really I think a lot of kids would love to read this. You do have to like either subscribe to it, or if you're, you know, in a school that gets it. So if you go to, I think it's the middle page. Yeah, the middle page, here is the eating disorder article, and it starts off with saying, this football player had a secret eating disorder. And then right here, you have 3 people. Oh, who is that up on top? Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh yeah, I have to get my photograph taken by a like professional photographer. It was really cool. I actually had to miss class to schedule this photo shoot. We went to this park like right by my house. It was really fun, and yeah. So here it says Chris is an anorexia survivor diagnosed at 16. Quote, I think boys don't feel comfortable talking about it. And then the other 2 people who are included in the article, their myths are black people don't get eating disorders, and then she tells her story. And then the next myth is that eating disorders are always make you dangerously skinny, and then it tells her story. But if you turn the page after that little page, there's me. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Oh my god, it's so cool. Oh my gosh. The myth, boys don't get eating disorders. The truth, up to 1/3 of all eating disorder sufferers are male, according to a study by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It says Chris vlogs about his recovery to help others. This entire article is online, so I will link that down below. I think this is so important to start talking about at a young age, even if that's, you know, in middle school. I was never given a health class that talks about eating disorders, which I think goes along with the whole, you know, the whole thing in society of mental illness not being as serious as a physical illness. So I think teaching, you know, shedding light on these kind of things at a young age is so important. So once again, the article is online for anyone to read. I will include that link down below. Shout out to Sandy once again for including me in this story. Thank you for watching this video. I just thought this was very cool and I wanted to share it with you guys. It's definitely a big part, you know, a big stepping stone in my recovery. Never in a million years when I was, you know, in the hospital, or even when I was in middle school or in high school, did I ever think my story would gain this much, you know, attention. I love you guys so much and thank you for watching. I will see you guys soon. Bye!